Riker's Rest, right. Private chambers. There is Mr. Ryker. Everything's still owned by him, so we can't really touch things. I'm a bit curious what the hell that is.
This is quite the antiques collection.
Does this mean something? Can't see what it could possibly mean though. Eternal mirror. Another one of these. Okay, let's go meet Ryker, see what happens.
I smell sauce in the air. And something else too. Something rancid.
Well, let's see a huge amount of corpses, for example. Body parts. Holy shit, there's a lot of body parts there.
Flesh and bones, severed and stitched. Perhaps some sort of necromancy?
You mean the gigantic pile of bones and bodies might be unfinished servant, okay. Right, he's manufacturing them. Well, this doesn't look like a battle at all. There's a necromancy book here. Might want to attack their spirit forms instead of their physical forms.
Look out!
Such indecency. You strike a man in his own household? I believe we have a friendly agreement. It would be a shame if you refused to honor it.
He seems to have again a dialogue option that doesn't correspond with reality at all. Stay your weapons. He's talking to us like it's the first time we've talked.
No harm done, then. But do avoid acting in haste. The world does not look kindly on such fundamental mistakes.
Throw yourself up. You know all about the contract on your head.
Oh, that. A trivial detail. An old agreement long forgotten by all involved. Don't give it a second thought.
Riker's mouth widens into a tight smile.
Inform him you don't have the tablet.
Well, see that you find me when it is in hand.
Careful now. That's a trap.
Grasp of the starved. Well, there's no need to fight apparently. Ta-da! It's another one of these weird devices. He doesn't want to fight, it's fine by me.
This is quite the antiques collection. Nice.
Or Jack. This paper. We knew good scrolls might be a different matter, but since we don't, just wasted paper. Right, am I going to pick a fight here or not? I think if there's a fight here, he's gonna teleport into here to protect him or his own ass, and that's about it.
Look out!
You see
I
yourself
a
in the
trap
mirror.
nearby.
It's quite a sight.
Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Since we're not in a fight, we might as well trigger
Look
these.
out! I see a trap nearby.
Right, I'm sort of interested in picking a fight here, but at the same time, I don't really have a reason. I'm going to go ahead and steal everything he has, though, so that causes problems, then that's a different matter. Severed head. Rotten arm. Rotten this and that. Ah, litter.
Lucky find. Good find.
Unfinished servants.
Nice.
You're only being accused because you're a lizard. Yeah, we got caught stealing. Tactical retreat, but wasn't enough. Arching minus 100%. You cannot turn invisible. Well, unexpected way to get into this particular fight, but it's done is done. Wasn't exactly heartbroken about this. He has relatively good defenses, I'd say, so we can more or less just bash him. His help isn't that capable though.
I'll heal.
Crap. Got the wrong abilities. Balls. Bone crawlers jumping out of the bones. Well, I wasn't expecting something like that. I don't think I can do backstabs, but I can probably make it so that if he tries to leave this place, he's going to lose the last of his armor. Might be the best I can do. Right, he basically has no armor left. Cursed Eyes, that actually works for me. Because I don't need to move, he does. And he's frozen. Yeah, dumbass. Think about it before using your abilities. I'd like to say that, but I do that shit all the time. Yeah, he's pretty much gone at this point.
Double crossed, but why?
There's still a bone crawler here though. Right, not much of a fight. On the positive side, we can just loot everything now. It's what I wanted to do right from the start anyway. We might want to give thought to storing the body parts in the ship, because I do want to eat them at some point. But that's more of a curiosity to see what you can get from them, not something I want to do roleplay doing with my Sabille. So what is the point of holding them on my characters constantly? There is none. It becomes relevant at the point where we are basically going to lose the ship or absolutely can't carry them with us anymore. Somewhere before we end the game anyway. That's basically it. But currently, no.
Boring.
I don't care if it's boring or not. I'm somewhat interested in the a letter that was on this particular table though. If I don't read it now, it'll basically disappear in this inventory. Here, I will detail my complaints about the poor conditions in this prison. The food is bad, the guards are cruel, and cells are... The rest of the text is obscured by red ink, and the following lines have been added in a shaky hand. The food is excellent, the guards are fair, and the cells are really quite lovely. Obviously the writer had a mysterious and sudden change of heart. Okay. It should be just random crap loot. Yeah, it's too low level for us to use it. This is a bow. And no one gives a crap. This is a finesse helmet. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna give a crap about this one either. Well, it's equally worthless, let's put it that way. Oh, it's a good amulet with a rune slot. Strength, pyrokinetic, leadership, so you could probably use it. Yeah, because I'm using his Captain's Compass amulet mainly for the leadership and Lore Master, I guess. This would be much better magical armor, has the same leadership, has pyrokinetic, has strength. At the same time, strength would also be useful for him. And this has retribution, necromancy, all worthless things. So better amulet that increases physical attack damage. Also can be slotted with a rune. Could increase critical hit chance. Accuracy might not be a horrible thing either. We do not have 100% accuracy all the time. And against tougher opponents, not even close. On the other hand, significant increase in critical hit chance to the point where we could expect them regularly on normal hits. And we are all about damage. It's a big damage increase, double damage. Okay, what is our carry weight? Beast has a lot of empty, Sabile has empty, and Red Prince is overburdened heavily. Okay, body parts for Sabile might be the best choice here. I'm going to have to think that there's most of the body parts that you can eat are basically just food, because there's nothing special about them and they stack on top of each other, so it's impossible for me to think that there's something really special about them. More than likely they're just there as to create atmosphere. But these type of items, severed heads, that are clearly unique looking, or body parts that there's a lot, but they're different, they don't stack at all. They might have something. Like wretched torsos, multiple ones, but they don't stack, so at least one of them has to be special. Some of them are stolen, but that doesn't still explain them. I'm thinking they're like the spirits thing. You can get a glimpse of the what happened to the person. Probably a way to bypass certain quest requirements. Probably. Ryker is still there. Hard to complete this quest. Well, I wasn't exactly going to complete it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I feel like it might have been better to bring the tablet to Ryker first. He would have probably tried to kill us anyway, so we would have gotten the quest completion out of it. Although we did get a lot of experience from killing Ryker, and I don't think even a fraction of it came from actually killing the guy. At the same time, we need 600,000 for next level up, so it's sort of irrelevant what we got and from where. It's not nearly enough to make a difference at this point. Still, every little bit counts. Skeletal cat remains. Potential boots. Yep, they're better than what I currently have. Not by much, but still.
This is quite the antiques collection.
I bet it is. With an deflective barrier. Yeah, I was about to say that with any luck we'll get a couple of scrolls. They'll be much more useful in the skill books. Path and the Pilgrimage. Now this is Lucian Divine's Day. Right, the treasure room. Ryker had 2 keys, so one of them probably fits there. Not sure how the rest of the household is gonna react to his passing away. There's a good chance they're all dead. An ancient skull. A normal skull. It's a fine amulet. No, not good, but fine.
No keyhole, no handle. There must be a hidden mechanism.
Take a look at the area first. Do we know any buttons? There are bases though, and these pedestals, so that could be a thing. Well, this would be the guess then. Sort of points there. Does it mean anything? It really isn't that. There are not that many interactable objects here.
Well, this is quite the antiques collection.
It's like there's something there.
This is quite the antiques collection.
Yeah, this doesn't really make all that much sense, assuming that's an arrow pointing in this direction. So I'm assuming it's not. But there's a mechanism to opening it. Not a keyhole.
Ah, I hear a door.
Guess it was too obvious. The game didn't draw attention to it
There
in any
must be a
way.
nugget of wisdom somewhere in these dusty books.
Another one. Well, at least we made progress. Toward what? I don't know.
This is quite the antiques collection.
Yeah, another one of these. What do they mean? Same symbols repeating. Could be just laziness on the part of the developer, I guess. A lot of books. Adventure's Field Guide of Summons and Summoners. Our God-forsaken world. The problem with the loot you can find is really that it's always too low level. Just doesn't matter. I suppose it's another way to give you extra, for fuck's sakes. Misclicked. It's now in the ship. It's a recipe book. Right, random pieces of paper and nothing really interesting. Ornate hymnal. A graceful script and precise musical notation decorate each page of this beautifully bound hymnal. Not every scholar could comprehend its meaning, but you are able to decipher it. Taming of the Holy Fire. I'll take this, even though I don't see the real use for it now. Base repair, another one.
Good find.
Couple of bad scrolls. We definitely have to do shopping. Or do I equipment dump on the ship? I suppose I could dump some shitty gear at the beast. Also, I have a lot of crafting equipment that I have been storing. Some of them that are haven't been useful at all at any point. I mean the full buckets of water and things like that. Elves. I already have that city guide. Survivalist manual. Lucian script. Hubert's note here muses upon the nascent conflict between paladins and magisters within the Divine Order over the custody of Lucian's mortal remains. To sum up, the paladins gained custody of the body, but the magisters gained a headquarters in Arx, site of the new cathedral beneath the which Lucian would be buried. Lucian's crypt. I have a feeling we're gonna end up there. Blood Rose. Yeah, what the fuck was the point of the Blood Rose? I think I still have it. At some point... Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna have to just test all of that out. I mean, I thought the Blood Rose would have more meaning. Because they made such a big deal of it, but it seems to just have some sort of fragrance. Eternal Mirror. Okay, what the hell do we need to do here? I'm gonna give a lot of the body parts to Beast. Beast doesn't usually have to do anything with the inventory, and he has been upgrading his strength too. So he probably has a huge amount of extra carry weight. Red Prince has to do all the usual item and the crafting component carrying, so why carry the body parts too? About 1 pound per body part, so yeah, they have a significant amount of weight to them. We could try crafting certain things, like we have a lot of I think arrow components that we could just turn into any kind of a specialty arrows to get some money out of them and get them out of our inventory. At the same time, they don't weigh much, but we have a lot of those things that don't weigh much we have inventory full. Food components is another one. I haven't been using food in a long time. Not to say I won't, but we should at least cook the goddamn food into and the ingredients into some kind of a single item. Right. Decent amount of free room, and Beast has a lot of extra carry weight still left.
quite the antiques collection.
I can feel my source power
My lucky
draining at
day,
the
a
merest
third
touch.
pyramid.
Tenebrium is truly a material of the void.
Teleporter pyramid. I guess this chest is made of tenebrium, so we lost our source point by touching it. Can we teleport to the other companion of this teleporter pyramid? No. We just have a third one now. Guess everyone gets a pyramid then. I don't really mind, but I also don't know how useful that's really going to be. Still, good to know that you can find one here. Alternatively, you can treat it as being able to move around in the
This
battlefield.
is quite the antiques collection.
Instead of just having a sort of a safe spot, you can have multiple spots in different areas of the battlefield. Yeah, you're all dead. I wonder what happened to the animals. Dead too. Right, I don't think I'm gonna get much done here. Pretty much just loot and sell the crap away. Ryker's journal should tell us much though, because I have no idea what his game was really. Small rock room. We sort of killed him through a, well, I wouldn't say exactly accident, but we weren't going for the fight at that point.
Well, this is quite the antiques. This is quite the antiques collection. Unusual relic indeed.
Wanna talk about it?
The salamander's tongue flickers, tasting you on the air.
No, he does not want to talk about anything. Right, we got a journal. I'm pretty sure about that. Dusty letter. Ryker, the contract is mine. I will pay you an execution fee of 25% if you take out any of my marks, but do not presume to go over my head. Signed, Roost. Green stone. Oh, I thought this was an actual item. Amulet or something. When I was a little boy in the deserts of Mezd, I spent a lot of time wandering around alone. Once I found a pebble, small and bright and green, like a fierce eye. I never saw a pebble like it before or since, though I've seen its color in the colors of clamp on sorcerers. I brought my pebble home and showed it to my grandfather. He was a paladin, but very old. He said to me, "Now that is something, young one. That is a completely new kind of matter entirely." His eyes glittered with zeal as he found a way to expand my discovery into a sermon on the void and its seductive evils, as usual. A wiser child would have cottoned on to the fact that one could often trust the first thing out of grandfather's mouth. The thing said before any filter kicked in. But the second thing, the lecture pieced together by a fraying mind, whose words could be disregarded. No matter, the seed of discovery was planted. I cherished that pebble, through childhood and adolescence, into the divine order and the life of a soldier. It stayed with me always and gave me hope when there was none to be had from the world. It reassured me that I was special. Ryker's journal. Okay. At last, I think I have discovered a method of keeping my home and gardens in good repair. The inhabitants of the stone garden are just lying there anyway. Why not put them to work? They raise from the dead easily enough, but my word, are they ever a fright to look upon? I have fashioned some garb for them that will keep their true faces hidden, and hopefully hold in some of the smell also. I must confess to growing fond of my silent companions. They never argue back, they hop to work at the slightest order, and best of all, they keep the riffraff out. Yeah, okay, so raising the inhabitants to do your bidding, still not seeing anything particularly odd. Why the tablet? I suppose he could be just a collector, and that's the extent of it.
Under lock and key.
Thievery level too low. Flaming amulet.
Do not ascend. The web of despair awaits.
Yeah, we met her. Wasn't much of a despair though.
The stag trophy stares outward with dull glass eyes, inscrutable and a little... The stag trophy stares. A faint breath of chill air brushes the back of your neck. The gentle scrape of a sound, a foot or a hoof, dragging across a floorboard perhaps.
Suppose this is supposed to play like a haunted house.
The ghostly stag inclines its antlered head towards you.
For what prize would a foolish poacher discard his life? The answer lies at a halo of wildflowers. Seek it out, and heed the wisdom the poacher would not.
What? The spirit of a great stag sent us in search of a halo of wildflowers. I do have to say the game has a lot of content to it. I feel like I've been in this area for probably 20 hours at least at this point. From level 9 to level 15 so far. I can't get to 16, but I can probably get quite a bit closer to it. Still have a ton of quests I didn't do. And, Tons that were incomplete now.
Welcome him, as he welcomes you.
The dusty staircase leads to another, straining and grunting. Your strength just...
The animals seem to be still alive. I was always wondering, are they undead too? Ring of some gold, yeah, it's a fine ring. 3 levels ago. Cautionary pamphlet. Lighthouse, right. There is no such thing.
You look up to the portrait, its subject's face staring right back at you, one eyebrow raised, as if lifted by a fishhook.
Contentious cur! Thou wouldst dare prance and gallivant about without a summons? Get thee gone, for at the count of 12 less 2, the sentries advance.
Ignore the painting's warning and examine it more closely.
You come up empty. Perhaps there is nothing to find.
This is what Rivellon has become. It has... a sanctuary for greedy poltroons seeking riches from noble patrons of the visual arts.
The painted man harumphs.
There's something to spot Sabine, so it's gonna be the only one who can do it.
You look up to the portrait.
Contentious cur!
You locate a hidden key behind the frame and slip it into your pack.
You dare relieve a virginal soul of his effects, Slugabed? Rivellon is but a sty, and I am but forced to watch its slow descent into depravity.
The man in the painting huffs and turns his head away.
Fuck doodle!
So, at least a key to some of these doors. Skeleton key. Master bedroom in Ryker's Upwood Manor.
Good find.
Is it though?
The animals argue.
Dog.
Oh,
Dog.
see why I'm...
Still, that's definitely an aspect of the game I don't like. The fact that you have to be so careful with what you choose to say with dialogue. If you do things in the wrong order, you just lose options for no logical reason. Assassination contract. Shabby ledger. The page lists no title or author. The handwriting is painstakingly neat. I'm a man of my word, alas, so is he. I have prided myself on being my own man, but the spectre of mortality proved my weakness. I allowed myself to be seduced into the covenant. I gave myself to him as his servant, as his warrior. In a rich existence, it is my one regret. I'm sworn still. Soon, however, I shall be unsworn. The key that will free me from these shackles is soon to seek entry, and I shall be a most hospitable host. So yeah, I was sort of guessing this. Everyone wants out of that particular contract. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense to come here first. At least try giving it to him. I'm not giving the tablet permanently up. If he could have used it to break his shackle, it might have been allowed us to gain the same ability.
Madness within, madness without.
In some ways, I don't think it matters in the end. Mainly because of the difficulty level and because we're playing with a full pool. It won't be so forgiving in harder difficulty. If I have to kill them twice, I can kill them twice. I really hope I don't have to. It doesn't come to that. Also saving just because I hate the game to crash at this point and having to loot everything again. Beats of the Four. These are probably the heroes that I killed. Mighty heroes of Driftwood. Garrick the human who slew necromancers preying upon the dead of the Stone Garden. Dwarf who defeated the demons that plagued the great woodlands. Lizard who subdued a strange beast that arose from the primordial caverns east of Driftwood. And Hala defended farmers who feed Driftwood against pitiless bandits. They are immortal through their deeds. Their implements of victory shall rest where they slew their enemies. They sort of look goldish to me, so I'll take everything here. Still, how can Ryker be killed if he is part of the Covenant? At least so easily. I'm a bit suspicious about that. At the same time, I have no idea how the Covenant thing works, so who the hell knows. Every undead seems to be a part of it though, so he could be counted maybe on that group. Kirill's greatest hits.
A spirit sits behind.
Our black, our globes they glide.
The echoes of a distant.
Guess that's more or less it. Should be a lot of dead masked servants here. I don't want to talk to you. The launch shovel. It's useless. There weren't that many masked men here. Half a dozen at most. Probably not even that many. And we're still not really done with this. I think there's one patrolling here. Okay, I'm not sure if I got all of them. I'm more or less pleased with what I did get. First things first, I teleported some kind of loot item here. At least it was useful. Recipes I didn't know recipes I didn't yet have. Poison wave. Ooh, that's what the slime is for. Silencing stare. Goo. What the fuck is goo? Alien shadow essence. Okay. Bit low on alien essences. Silencing stare. Lake. Any water essence. There are some decent attack spells in scroll form at least, even with reasonable components. Lake is a very early component and so are water essences. But you would still need to... If you want to buy something in this game, you need to buy the essences. Probably have a good idea of certain key components too that you buy at every opportunity. Feathers are probably one of those. You can get pillows here and there, but other than that I don't see where you get feathers. Also, it is incredibly rare to get air essences apparently, because I played through 15 levels and maybe made a handful of scrolls, 3 or 4 at most, and I have 4 left, so that's an incredibly small amount. Any actual good spells? You basically have tier 1 and 2 abilities here. That's it. So useful, yes, but nothing that would really make a big difference in most situations. Beer and rocks for rock runes. Always pixie dust. I could do a handful of stardust. Tons of bone dust. Also, I don't know if it's going to grind my ancient skulls in the bone dust first or regular bones. So pixie dust is as valuable as it's always been. We have way too little of it. And when I say way too little, it's to the point where there's no point making these runes. I would have to drastically buy the ingredients from somewhere, otherwise this is totally unfeasible. Also, the cost is so expensive in general that I couldn't buy enough ingredients anyway. Killer Fletcher. Wanna do some deals.
Corvin, the Fletcher you rescued.
Oh yeah? Oh, I mean, hey, how are you? All settled in myself? Can't tell you how glad I am to be here. And thank you for bringing me.
Tell him he's quite welcome.
I feel it, you know? I really do. By all means.
He has money, that's all that matters. Level 15 ring, Constitution Warfare, Scoundrel Aerotheurge. It's a good ring. Also cost 5,000. Improved armor, but wrong skills. Definitely would be an improvement on one of the rings. More warfare, more hit points. Well, it could be useful for you too. Not really. Very useful. Hydrosophist and Shitty Ring versus Metic Armor, Constitution Warfare, Scoundrel Aerotheurge. But if we lose the Hydrosophist, we actually lose ability to cast some of the spells we're usually casting, so we could invest in that. Also, you have shitty boots, don't you? Yes. Yes, you do. Right, only thing we really have to do now is sell him our crap. I think I will buy the ring, although it's a fine ring, no doubt about that, but it's not really necessary, and it's 5,000 for something that's fine. Just fine. At the same time, it has 5 points in the attributes and skills we want to use, so it is a significant improvement. But 1/3 of all of our funds in exchange for that, no. Still. Give your crap to low save. Yeah, the Voidwalking Fish exchange is something that's something we have to test too. I have no clue what the hell that's all about. We could use this weapon for some reason, and I don't know why. Level 15 weapon. It's fine. I don't think it's better. Just fine. So why the hell would I use it? It's an axe instead of a mace. That's potentially good use for it. Source weapon. I have no idea what a source weapon does. Why is it special? I don't want to give it away. Blindsider, this is an obsolete weapon. Unidentified staff. Totally obsolete. I'm not really a staff person. What is this? Dana Demora doesn't seem all that useful to me. An identified ring. It's obsolete. Identified belt. I'd like to say it's a piece of crap, but it's still better than what we currently have. Sort of. Major problem is that it's not really... The only reason one of our guys has a shitty belt is because it has good skills. This is a shitty belt with bad skills. So, no. Well, this could genuinely be better, so I don't want to sell it. Ah, crap. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't carry billions of books with us either. Carry weight still allows it though, so I'm not going to throw them away. "22 anthropod legs." I'd really like to know what recipe uses that. A bowl. How about Petty Vengeance? It has no value. I don't think it has any value to anyone. I don't see any crafting potential in it either, so it's just a waste. Some gold items can be used in recipes. Do I care? I don't think so. Dogtooth bones. A lot of keys. Ah, more paintings. There's no way he can afford all this. And I'm certainly not going to get the ring out of him either, so we'll have to teleport low save forward if we want to get anything out of him. Basically get back to the Driftwood city. There's no way to really select an item here, so I can't even if there's a way to select multiple items that and just move them all at once, I don't know it. This is a terrible way to do things. But the difference in what we get and the amount of money we have to buy with a high persuasion character with some bartering skill versus someone with no skills in either it's significant enough that I can't just ignore it. If it was a few hundred gold here and there, that would be one thing, but it's gonna be thousands in the usual purchases already. But it's just too much. I've got to pay attention to it. Bed linens. And we still have the gold chest. We need more thievery items, right? Could we just bash the shit out of that? Because it cannot contain anything even remotely useful anymore. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, it doesn't have that property really. Can't bash it open. Right, if you don't bash things, your durability won't drop. So, brittle weapons would be somewhat useful in this game. Just change weapon if you want to bash stuff.
Like to take a look at what I've been working on? Go on!
25. Right, we can get about 7,000 gold out of him. Preferably something that has some weight to it. Paintings are usually fairly high weight. Armor tends to be fairly heavy. Arrows don't really weigh much. Ooh, these do. They're pretty much half a pound each. Okay, if anything interesting comes our way, at least we have enough money to buy it. It's too much. One ring back. Right, 22,000. Not bad. Not great either, but we have to keep in mind that there's going to be another tier of spells we have to get. Not sure I can ever buy it though, so that's another matter again. Can I even move? A little bit.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten
Wars are
eggs.
brewing, my friend, and we may find ourselves on different sides, in which case prices will go up. Buy now while you still can.
Not selling anything particularly interesting, although I'll buy the teleportation scroll.
to know.
Also flay skin maybe, or peace of mind. This halves resistances, so this will be great against very tough opponents, maybe boss type opponents. So we don't need a lot of these, but they could be a lifesaver in a tough situation. Anything else of interest? Level 15 shields. 327 physical armor, 10% chance blocking, 200 magic armor, perseverance, and accuracy bonuses. This would be... I'm not sure if it would be even useful for you. I mean, it's a superior shield, but it's just a slight physical armor increase. At the same time, our current armor is a gigantic piece of crap. So it would be an improvement. And it's not super expensive either. I'm thinking of not really doing equipment upgrades, besides maybe boots. He has terrible boots, like level 6 boots, something along those lines. So, do we have level 15 boots? Yeah, a couple. Not good ones, but basic ones. Finesse and intelligence boots. Level 15 belt. Constitution, hit points, dodging. Probably good for him. Yeah, but he has a damage belt. I would prefer to replace it with a damage belt. Well, either way, you can at least sell the extra crap to this guy. He has the money to buy my crap. Yes, he probably does.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your tongue,
Not so sure now.
Wouldn't you like to know?
A suspicious amount of treasure items. More than I thought we would have. He can barely afford it, but he can afford it. He's left with 30 gold. We're left with 30,000. Excellent. Right. I want to take a look at the two other guys and see what type of crafting equipment they sell.
You needing supplies?
Because now we have at least some sort of a handle on what we should be
Never
buying.
seen anything like it.
Certain type of potions would be good. Maybe not the full heals. I mean, they're useful, but we might not need them. Large physical armor potion, 400 each. 500 physical armor restored. I'm somewhat more interested in the resistance, 50% resistance boost. Because these are cheap as hell. Like 100 gold each. And they have a 3-turn duration too. Be some lockpicks or craft disarming kits. The price isn't too high, but I don't want to run out. I could craft armor pieces too. Actually, might be worth checking how much of a profit we could make at this point. Plywood log is incredibly expensive, but I have nothing to produce from them. Let's do a scrap metal. We have a recipe for this. 1,000.
I don't come visit your tunnel. Who will?
Until
It's
later then.
the oh, for fuck's sakes, the cost of the components isn't that high. I think it's a recipe.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm alright, as long as I don't think about it.
Plate
too much.
armor. Yeah, it's a hammer
You're
and
safe among
plates.
friends. Never forget it.
We hammer is free, plate scraps we have plenty. We need an anvil. That's easy to arrange.
There's a lot of coal for the junk you sell.
And you can't walk again. We have a huge amount of crap. Right. But the test. I don't have any plan of farming money. What I want to know is, at what point does it become feasible to generate money for a solo character? Now we're probably producing level 15 gear, so naturally the value would be quite substantially higher than it was initially. I do recall testing this at some point and it wasn't really all that impressive. I only have one plate scrap though. The rest is metal scrap, which isn't the same thing, so I think we can do maybe scale mails. Alright, it wouldn't hurt to test what we can do. It's a elven sword. Okay, what about animal scales? Okay, I was definitely wrong about the recipes, I didn't look at them closely enough. Handmade sword, right. It is... for about 70 gold we can make a handmade sword. That's not what I'm interested in. Okay, scale armor requires scale scraps, plate scraps, and this is a more convoluted thing. Leather armor just requires that, right? Still, this has a value of 430. It's not quite so valuable when we sell it. Still, where's the plate armor? That's the more important part. God damn it. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay, who the hell crafted that one? It has double the value. It is better than what we currently have. I'm going to load no matter what, so I don't particularly care what it has or doesn't have. What I care is how much can I sell this shit for? At what point does it make sense to produce these?
Like to take a look at what I've been working on. Go on.
Sword and armor. So this is 500 for each one we do, and the components are a fraction of that, so you can easily multiply your every piece of crafting plate you can get, you can turn into cash, lots of it. With no skills, yeah, I'd have to shift the item around. What about the sword? more or less, you can more than double the value, probably triple each scrap metal piece, so that's something. But more importantly, I don't have any particular large plans on investing in persuasion and bartering. I might be able to get that through an item or two, but it'll stay at a fairly low level no matter what.
Go on.
So it's much more important to know what the Red Prince can get out of these. It's, over double the value easily, not close to getting a triple it. I'm not sure what full plate would, what a plate piece would be worth though, but probably the same amount at least. Point is, it's a fairly reasonable way of making money at this point at least. And if I can sell every piece of loot that I don't personally use, that's a lot of money. So money, I don't think it's a problem. It depends on how much crafting items I have to buy to produce the usables I need. Either way, I'll end things here. I'm not sure where we go next. I'm guessing I'm just sort of jumping around from one place to another to see what we can complete. I might go to the Blood Island simply because that's the last actual proper place I can go to. So once we've been there, then we can just focus on wrapping up on the completed things. And at that point I probably have enough equipment, so it doesn't matter where I go. I'm fully equipped to go there. Actually the arena might be a good place to visit now, because the first arena had equipment chests, and you didn't need to be at level 9 to be there, which was the maximum level of the first area. It was somewhere around maybe 5, 6, and we're not gonna get any higher than this, 50. So if we're not ready now, we are not ready at any point. Where was it? Arena Master. Don't think I've ever even visited this yet. So, and I could have just teleported here, right? Still, it's something new, something that gives us new equipment. Probably obsolete at this point, but we'll see.